Hey Beans, it's Ducklene. Welcome back to my channel. Grab a drink, get cozy, and let's get into it. Today we are going to be doing the January setup and also filling in of the reading journal. So I'll be going over all of the books that I read in January and also setting up the dashboard and the title page and everything. As usual, we're going for a scrapbook theme to match the rest of the journal. I decided to go with this hummingbird theme. I don't know, I really liked it. Thought it was cute. I know I've used it before, but yeah. I have limited options with the origami paper, so I'll probably be reusing it a bunch throughout this whole journal. I always feel like I don't really know, like I'm so new to scrapbooking and stuff and journaling in this format that I have no idea what I'm doing. I just rip these pretty pages up and kind of place them down and just figure it out from there. I don't really have a plan. Not really. I kind of just wing it based on how I feel. I know I should probably look up like spreads and stuff. I look up spreads, but mostly like for what the content should be, like charts or, you know, ways to visualize my books and my reading stats and whatever. But like for the actual scrapbooking, I don't know, I just wing it. I got this acrylic marker that matches the colors. It's like this like pinky, light pinky, peachy color. And I just decided to write out the name of the month, January, and the page was looking a bit empty still, so I decided to add these little flowers with like a more orangey, peachy color, also like matching parts of the hummingbird and stuff. And I thought this looked a bit better. I'm learning as I go, but if you guys have any like suggestions or tips, please let me know. I don't want to like recreate things exactly as I see them elsewhere. I kind of want to just let the creativity flow. That's kind of how I decide what to do, is I just kind of wing it and see how it feels, and then I learn from there. For my stats page, I decided to use these. I have these cute little notebooks with these little pages. I'm like, I don't really use them for anything, so I'll use it for my stats. And I'll be doing this going forward as well, or that's my plan anyways. And then I have this washi tape that's like the perfect pinky peachy color, and I thought, okay, cool, I'll use it here because it matches so well. So again, I'm just like doing random things, but I think it turned out cute. I really do. And again, I'm using my very cute alphabet stamps. Yeah, I love these so much, like I will never stop using them. It's so much fun. I'm just giving it the title stats, and I'll be filling this in now as well, since I'm doing this, you know, while already having all the stats available. So in January, I read 11 books, and I thought it'd be cute to kind of highlight the numbers. That's what I'm doing with these little blotches. I'm like making spaces where I'll add in the stats, just to keep it interesting. So yeah, it'll just cover books read, pages read, average rating, and my top genres. I decided I don't really want to cover anything else. I'll be adding stats elsewhere in the journal. Yeah. So while I'm waiting for the acrylic to dry, I decided to first just use my pen. So my top genres are romance, contemporary, and fantasy. And I noticed I put STEM and hockey next to contemporary, but I think it's really supposed to go with the romance, because I focused mostly on STEM and hockey, romance, and then obviously fantasy as well. So yeah, and I'm using my stamp for the numbers. So as I said, 11 books read in January, which I think is really good. Wow, I read a lot, but I read a few novellas, which are like less than 100 pages or something, maybe like 100 pages, which is very quick. I'd probably read that in one sitting. And then I read 3,720 pages, which is quite impressive, I think. I don't know. Impressive for myself. It's only me against me around here. My average rating was 3.55. You guys will notice that I'm actually quite generous with my star ratings. If I don't like a book, I probably won't read it. And for me, I've really struggled to rate a book less than 3 stars. It just feels mean. I don't know. I know that's so dumb. But that's just, I don't know. 3 stars is like, it was an okay, goodish book, but like, you know. And then 4 is like, it was really good, but like, just really, really good. And then 5 stars is like, oh my god, this was amazing. 2 stars is probably like, I probably hated it or something. And I don't even give 1 stars. Like, I'll just DNF instead. Like, why would I finish a book that's 1 star? I don't know. I don't think I could do it. So yeah, and I try to pick books that seem to be something that I would enjoy, you know, I guess. Though looking back, I think a couple of these I probably could have rated differently, maybe 2 stars, but anyway, the lowest that I've given is 3, so yeah, let's see. Cross that bridge when we get there, I guess. And I'm just kind of sticking with the theme here, though. Though I don't really know, like, what I'm doing. I don't know if it was the right choice, honestly, looking back now at this. But, you know, whatever. It turned out good enough, I guess. It just feels very random, the scraps of paper that I put down. So yeah, these are the books I read. The 11 books I read in January. So starting off with A Cruel Winter with You. I was in my Ali Hazelwood phase because I ended off last year with like reading a lot of Ali Hazelwood, and so I was still like craving that vibe, I guess. So I read a few of her novellas. So Cruel Winter with You is kind of like a holiday romance. It was like former childhood friends. They were friends but not friends anymore. They get stuck in a house, so forced proximity. They get stuck in a house with a blizzard going on outside, and obviously things happen and they fall in love or whatever. It was very cute. I rated it 3 stars. Yeah, it's part of the Under the Mistletoe collection of novellas. I think it's like a collaboration between Ali Hazelwood and a few other authors. And then I read Under One Roof, another novella. It's part of the STEMnist novellas, and it's very cute. It was a environmental scientist, Mara, who's forced to live with her nemesis, Liam, who's like a big royal lawyer. So like they are on opposite sides of the environmental fence. And so she inherits a house from her mentor, but like as she goes there, Liam is already living there because the mentor was his aunt. So it's like now they both just live there. It's like Grumpy Sunshine, Forced Proximity, and like nemesis or / enemies to lovers, whatever. I rated it 4 stars. It was a lot of fun. And then I read Below Zero, which is also another STEMness novella. There are 3 in total. I only read 2 of the 3. This one is about Hannah, who's a NASA aerospace engineer. She gets injured and stranded while training at a remote station in the Arctic, and then she gets rescued by her rival. So it's rivals to lovers and also like forced proximity. It was really cute, contemporary romance. I rated it 4 stars as well. So those 2 novellas are like part of 3 stemless novellas from Ali Hazelwood about 3 scientist friends, Mara, Sadie, and Hannah. So I just haven't read Sadie's story yet, but I think it's called Stuck With You. I don't know when I'll read it, but yeah, when I feel like a short, cute thing, I'll give it a shot. Then I read Twisted Love, part of the Twisted series by Anna Huang. So it's like a billionaire / brother's best friend romance. It's also like Grumpy Sunshine, like forbidden, I guess, ish. Probably a bit of age gap, I guess, as well. Like I think he's older than her, but it was cute. I gave it 3 stars. Yeah, I guess it was really nice, but it wasn't like super memorable, I guess. So that's why it's not a 4 star. But I do want to continue the Twisted series. I haven't continued yet. Then I read The Equation of Us, which is like a hockey romance. Like, so I think before that I read Heated Rivalry, but anyway, I wanted another hockey romance, so I tried this one. She's like, this chick is a neuroscience student who needs to tutor this like hockey player. So it's like a spicy romance, but I feel like I should have rated it 2 stars. I don't remember very much. So, but you know, it was a fun time, I think. But like, I will probably never read it again, and I don't like the book cover either. So whatever. Then I read A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. So this was a Goodreads Choice Award for Favorite Romance 2025. It was not a favorite of mine. I think I rated it 3 stars. It's 2 writers competing for the right to write a biography about this woman on a remote island. They like have to be there for 1 month before she decides who to give the story to. And I don't know, it was kind of boring. It's like Grumpy Sunshine, Rivals to Lovers, but like, I don't know, it didn't capture me very well. Then I read Heated Rivalry, Hockey Rivals, Shane and Ilya, Secret Lovers to like full-blown soulmates. It was so good. It was very spicy. And yeah, it was really good. I loved it. 5 stars. Then Love Theoretically was a reread for me. I absolutely loved it. 4 stars. But also like one of my favorite romances. It's a struggling theoretical physicist who she's an academic. She doesn't earn a lot of money, so she's like works as a fake girlfriend, and then she wants to like join like her dream job, and there's this guy who's an experimental physicist, and he happens to be the brother of one of her favorite clients. So it's like this whole like crazy situation. It's a lot of fun. Enemies to lovers, fake dating, academia, and like a lot of it was just a fun time. Academic rivalry. Then so that was 4 stars. Thorn Season is the first book in the Thorn Season series. I rated it 4 stars. So it's like a YA romantasy. It was a lot of fun. It's kind of like debutante season at the royal court, but she has like a secret magic that is like forbidden. And then of course like it's forbidden magic, hidden powers, fantasy romance, romantasy, whatever. Enemies to lovers was a lot of fun. And then On Wings of Blood, 5 stars, as part of the Bloodwing Academy. And this was it's like vampires, dragons, deadly competitions and trials. It was very, very good. I think this is 5 stars for me. one of my favorite reads of the month. And then This Woven Kingdom was a book club read, part of the Woven Kingdom series. I only read the first one so far, but yeah, it was YA fantasy, and it's really cool. It's like based on Persian mythology, and so this woman is like a servant hiding her jinn powers. Very, very cool. And she catches the attention of a crown prince, who she's like prophesized to bring down his kingdom or something. I don't know. It was very fun. A very exciting read. Very interesting. I don't think I would have read it otherwise, but like I really enjoyed it, and I would like to continue the series. And then as for this spread, I am just coloring in my bookshelfie with the colors of the books. So like whatever the book cover's color is, I color in on the bookshelf. And yeah, that's kind of, there's no other like key, and I decided not to write the book titles in, but let me know if you think I should write it in. I've seen other people's, and when they write it in, it ends up looking a bit too cluttered for my taste. But I don't know. I'm still like debating whether or not I should. And yeah, I like that it showcases the colors of the books that I read and not like something else. Because I track other things in other areas. So yeah, I wanted it to look like a real bookshelf. I'm so excited to see this all filled up. It's gonna be great. Yeah, Hall of Fame I didn't fill in, Book of the Month I didn't fill in. I'm gonna add all of those at a later stage, I think. So I'm just doing my stats, which I've basically already told you, but I'm filling them in multiple places. So yeah, I decided here that my book of the month's probably going to be Heated Rivalry. So I'll probably put that. It's either going to be Heated Rivalry or On Wings of Blood, but I think I'm leaning towards Heated Rivalry. So I read 11 books, 3,720 pages. All of my reads were digital this month. 2 5-star reads, 1 reread. Yeah, that's it. And I'm so excited to finally color in these charts. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it will look at the end of the year. 11 books is a lot. Like, I'm actually surprised that I read that many, but like I said, so many of them were novellas. So, you know. I'm probably going to do alternating colors, like based on the title, at the top, and match those colors. I think that'll be cute. And then pages per book. This was fun. I had to take out my notes for this because, yeah, I can't do this off the top of my head. I had to write it all out. So I had 2 in the 500 range. And 2 in the 400 range. Here I'm also doing the alternating pink and green. So I just needed to note which sections are going to be which colors. A large majority, so 4 in the 300 range. And then, like I said, the 3 novellas, they were within the 200. I think they were more close to 100 pages each. I read 3 books in 2025. 1 in 2023. One, I think this one was in 2019. 2 in 2024. And 3 in 22. Oh, 4. Shit, 4 in 2022. I really like that it's so spread out. Actually, I'm quite proud. I didn't have any DNFs this month, but my reread was Love Theoretically. In my series tracker, you'll see here I started filling in the other ones that I read because I was like, shit, I never filled it in the like previously. So Court of Thorns and Roses, the last 2 spaces are for the new books that are going to be releasing hopefully end of this year and beginning of next year. And here I'm just checking, like I'm also doing alternating colors, so I'm checking which ones need to be which color. And then for the Cruel Prince I read previously, yeah, I'm using this pinkish, reddish, and green to match the flowers on the scrap paper, scrapbook paper. That's better. So yeah, the Empyrean, obviously I read the Fourth Wing. There's hopefully a new one coming. Marked, I read many moons ago. And then Throne of Glass, that's finished. So yeah, I get to fill that in all the way. I did forget a few things. So I read Vampire Academy and Zodiac Academy I read, but I forgot to fill it in. So, you know, it is what it is. And now I'll fill in the actual January series. So yeah, Bloodwing Academy, read the first book. And then Game Changers, I put it in as the first book, but it's actually apparently the second book in the series, Heated Rivalry, but you know, oops. And then I've realized that I skipped Once Upon a Broken Heart, which I read previously, so I filled it in. The Dwarven Kingdom, the first book, and Dawn Season, Twisted. Yeah, that's I think all of them. Oh, Bookish Passport. This is so sad. It cut out while I was doing this, but basically I'm making stamps based on all of the places that I went in these books. And yeah, I'm like really sad that it cut out while I was drawing them, but I will show you. So I am here adding Small Town USA. It's like a snow globe for The Cruel Winter with You. They didn't give a town name, they just said it's a small town in the US. Then I also added in all the other places, so New York City, MIT Boston, Daradon, Washington DC, Little Crescent Island, Varsity, Sangratha, Svalbard, Norway, Canada, Ardunia. I think that's all of them. Yeah. I made some mock-ups to show you like how I planned them out, and then I drew them in and I did like alternating colors. But yeah, thanks guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.